When I was studying agape, the very God kind of love, I started to realize that when we are counseling our couples, we don't teach it. What was the original idea of why God creates marriage? The concept, Corinthians 13. He says, if I can speak in tongues of men and even of angels, but have not agape, I'm only a lousy gong and clanging cymbal. If I have sufficient faith so that I can remove mountains, make lame men walk, but have not agape, I am nothing. He says, and if I dole out all that I have to the poor, food, and if I surrender my body to be burned, or in order that I may glory, but have not agape, then I gain nothing. Now he's defining agape. He says, agape endures long. Agape is patient. Agape is kind. Is never envious, nor boils over with jealousy. Agape is not boastful. Agape is not vainglorious. Agape does not display itself haughtily. Agape is not conceited. It's not arrogant and inflated with pride. Agape does not insist on its own rights or its own way. For it is not self-seeking. It is not touchy or fretful or resentful. It takes no account of evil done. Listen, it pays no attention to a suffered wrong. Agape bears up under anything and everything that comes. When you understand agape, we are not even supposed to counsel over the most obvious. Why don't you love your wife? How can you say you don't love your wife when agape, God, is in the equation? It's not possible. God, who is love, can't tell me that this is my wife and I don't love her. It's not possible. Because he's love. And because he's love, my wife should never feel a day that I don't love her. Because I know God. If you're not ready for agape, if you think it's just a feeling, you wasted your time. As Christ has loved the church and gave himself for it, that he might present it blameless and without fault. His words evoke her beauty. Because Jesus imputes righteousness on us. He tells you, you are wonderful. Even when you are funny, he still imputes what? Righteousness on you. Men, impute some righteousness. Somebody shout hallelujah. It is ready to believe the best. Because you're creating a certain eon, a certain world. Oh! Agape deals with the inner ear. I don't think that any communication makes sense if it is not from the heart to the heart. Psalms 12 verses 1. He says, help, Lord, for the godly man ceases, for the faithful fail from among the children of men. They speak vanity, everyone with his neighbor, with flattering lips and with a double heart do they speak. That means when a man's heart is double, he will not speak faithful. If your heart is not established in the conversation it must carry, it means everything spoken, if it is not from the heart, it's unfaithful. Cheating does not begin when a man leaves his wife and goes and leaves another woman. It begins from the time he stops to share his heart. And the other way is true too. That if a woman has not opened her heart to you, she's unfaithful. When we communicate with the heart, we communicate the things that matter. When men learn to communicate from that place, you realize that sometimes you don't even need to say much. Because it's very silent. It is not for everybody. It's for the person you're communicating to. That's why I tell people, when you get married, firstly sit together and talk, the two of you, and say, what is our idea of marriage based on the revelation of Christ? Because if we cannot define the love which is of God, we're wasting time running marriages on the love which is of the world. That one is feeling oriented. It's emotionally unstable. It is time bound. It's friendship, eros first, and then agape. I love you with the love of God as long as you're still my friend. If you cross me, I don't love you. But God is talking about that love which is of God, that even if they do anything to you and the rain is coming, you put an umbrella on our head and say, okay, yeah, I know we are not brothers, but I can't let it rain. You understand? Eh? When a man has agape, do you tell him be faithful? When a man has agape, do you tell him come back home early, don't cheat? Share your time with your wife and tell her your finances? No, it's agape. It cannot hide. who it is. It's exposed. It's natural.
Agape never fails. It never fails.
This sermon is now available on DVD and CD at Phaneroo Sales Table and Andrew Womack Bookshop.